Welcome to the most comprehensive Black Ops 6 Zombies camo guide on YouTube. Use this guide to either help you go from absolutely zero all the way to Nebula as fast as possible, or to bag a specific camo you've been struggling on in the shortest amount of time possible. This guide, complete with timestamps of specific camos that you require, will go into depth about how to get every single camo in the most effective way possible. This will include everything from your 2000 critical kills, all of the special camos, and all of your mastery camos. But without further delay, let's get it started. To start with, we will be going through the most monotonous grind of the video, and please stay with me here because I promise it gets fun, the critical kill camo grind. The first 9 camos you will be unlocking are the Slate, Desert, Evergreen, Rugged, Grim, Stripe, Oceanic, Whiteout, and Purple Tiger camos, which are all progressed by getting critical kills, or just regular kills depending on what weapon you're using, but irrespective it won't matter for this guide that I'm about to show you. Now for this strategy you have 2 options, the easy but long way or the hard but faster way. Choose between these two depending on how confident you are at the game. I personally suggest that if you struggle on the Rampage Inducer, getting to around 30, or if you've hardly unlocked any augments or attachments yet, to go for the easier method here, but the choice is yours. To do the easy 2000 crit method, you will need to load into Citadel de Mor using the Picky Eater augment on your Vulture Raid accompanied by a Molotov. I would also recommend using a field upgrade such as Frenzy Guard or Aether Shroud to keep yourself out of danger, but that's all the setup you're going to need. Once you've loaded in, progress your way through the map whilst grabbing Speed Cola, Juggernog, and Vulture Raid, and turn the Pack-a-Punch machine on by killing the Doppelgast guarding the crystal. Stay in this room until you have at least packed once, and then take the Super Mario 64 slider to the start room and get blue on your weapon, as you will need these for the scaling damage of the oil trap. Quick tip, take note of the special camos for your equipped gun. You may be required to use a specific ammo mod, and if you have that ammo mod equipped whilst doing this strategy, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Now that you're pack 1 and at least green, you should be roughly on round 8 to 12, but the hard part is now over, so don't worry. Hold the weapon you aim to get camo progression on and head to these 2 traps located at either side of the start room like I'm showing you here. Activate the trap and stand exactly where I'm standing for both of the oil traps, as this is where you will take no damage and be invulnerable to everything except for doppelgas explosions and parasites, which should not bother you until the latest of rounds. When you aren't on the Rampage Inducer, sometimes a few zombies will still be alive after the trap's timed out. Simply kill them and collect all the items dropped so that you can equip more plates, more salvage, and more Molotovs to use on other traps. Regardless if you're on Rampage Inducer or not, until about round 50 you won't even need to worry about using 2 oil traps, and round 50 far exceeds what you will be needing to do anyways for your 2000 crits, so at no point will you really have to worry about there being too many zombies to handle. But that is the high and low of this strategy. Incredibly simple, even somebody like me could do it. But I played this out to find the most crucial information for you, as well as to give you some incredible tips that will help you succeed in this, and potentially even progress your camos faster. To get all 2000 crits, you'll be going to roughly round 40, which will take you about 35 minutes, or 30 minutes with a Rampage Inducer on. Use bug rounds to pack-a-punch your weapon further, upgrade to a higher tier of armor, and go to the Wonder Fizz at round 25 onwards to get additional perks that will help you out. Use the armory located between the 2 oil traps to upgrade your weapon further when you get enough salvage, as to not let zombies' health cap exceed the damage that the trap is doing. If you are using a melee weapon and are sick of getting pelted with parasites' questionable green goo, simply toss a decoy at the oil trap, provided that the Molotov you used to light it was not still active, and the parasites will fly straight towards it. If you're sick of the pesky buckethead zombies from Plants vs Zombies bothering you, then deposit the stamps that they drop into the statues, and once all 4 are done, they will stop spawning. And finally, if you run out of Molotovs and need to activate the oil trap, a good old PhD flop onto the unlit oil will light it. If you have any additional questions about this, or if there's something that I've missed, let your boy know down in the comment section and I will reply to everything. Moving on to the harder strategy. This strategy will save you a lot of time if you are capable of pulling it off, so I'm going to show you how to do that and give you some good tips to make sure you stay on your feet. Load into Haunted Havoc on Citadel de Mor with the Picky Eater augment equipped to your Vulture Raid with a Molotov as your lethal. Play the first 10 or so rounds in the start room using your camo grind weapon. Collect as many perks as you require from the Wonder Fizz located in the start room off rip. I would suggest getting Juggernog, Speed Cola, and Vulture Raid in that order, followed by things such as PhD Flopper and Quick Revive, as these will also be useful later on. And as a quick tip, if you stand directly in front of the Wonder Fizz, zombies will only be able to attack you from 1 set of stairs. This will make your life so much easier. Just be careful because parasites, vermins, and shock mimics do not follow this pattern. If it's a bug round, or if a shock mimic spawns in, don't stand stationary and use the entire start room to your advantage. Once you've gotten all the perks that you want and your tier 2 armor, head to the oil traps which are either side of the start room and activate them by purchasing the trap and throwing a Molotov down into the oil. Stay stood exactly where I'm standing for both of these traps. Once the round is over, quickly grab the items off the ground and check the pumpkins to find pack-a-punch crystals and upgrade tools. This mode is so good because it saves you from having to go to the pack room, which will save you a lot of time. And for the strategy itself, that is it. Alternate between the two oil traps and continue to use them until you have reached your desired camos. This mode is of course tricky, so I'm going to provide you with some incredible tips that I have found when I have been using this strategy, so listen up closely. It will take you roughly 39 rounds to get 2,000 crits, which will take you about 28 minutes, and even less if you don't set up for as long as I did. I was in the start room for about 10 minutes, just trying to get all my perks. You do not need every single perk. The core 5 that you will need are Quick Revive, Jug, Speed Cola, Vulture Raid, and PhD. That does not mean rush though. Set up for as long as you need, grabbing every single perk, grabbing extra armor, just that you don't go down during the grind. If you do happen to go down, you should continue the strategy until the next bug round, or if the worst comes to the worst, until there's one zombie left. Head back to the start room and grab as many perks with the essence that you have left, as well as a self-res just in case you go down again. Since the rounds go by so much faster in this strategy, if you find yourself with both oil traps recharging, simply do a loop of the map until you hear the oil trap sound play. A riskier way of doing this is to leave a decoy and hope that the trap recharges in the time that it takes the decoy to disappear. If you know the trap's about to come back, I'd suggest doing this, but again, it's your risk to take. And finally, if you run out of Molotovs, you can always light the oil trap by using a trusty PhD flop. If you have any additional questions about this strategy, or if there's something that I missed, please let your boy know down in the comments and I will reply to every single one of you. On to the special camos. The special camos in no particular order are as follows: 300 kills with Cryo Freeze, Napalm Burst, Brain Rot, or Deadwire, 5 crits rapidly 15 times, 30 parasite kills, 300 kills whilst packed, 10 mangler kills, 100 kills shortly after using a field upgrade, 300 kills at rare or higher rarity, 300 point blank kills, 300 hipfire kills, 75 armored zombie kills, 30 vermin kills, kill 100 zombies affected by your tactical, and 10 kills without reloading 15 times. Unlocking the special camos at the same time as doing the oil trap strat is ideal and will save you an awful lot of time. 15 of these 16 special camos are able to be carried over into the oil trap strat, with the only one that can't being the mangler kills. I suggest doing all of your 2,000 crits and your 2 special camos at the same time, and I'm going to give you some quick tips to help you make that as easy as possible. If you have one of the ammo mod challenges, you must simply have that ammo mod on your weapon. For example, if you need 300 deadwire kills, put deadwire on your gun and have the zombies die to the trap as normal. The following camos can be done without needing to put any extra effort in: 300 kills at rare or higher rarity, 300 point blank kills, 300 hipfire kills, 75 armored zombie kills, 30 vermin kills, 10 kills without reloading 15 times, 5 kills rapidly 15 times, 30 parasite kills, 300 kills whilst pack-a-punched, and 10 kills without reloading 15 times. The only 2 camos that you actually need to put effort into are the tactical kills and the field upgrade kills, but I'll show you how to do those. For the tactical kills, simply throw a decoy down into the oil trap without it touching the fire, otherwise it will destroy itself. And if you're at one of the higher rounds, you should be able to do this in 3 to 5 decoys. For the field upgrade kills, equip Frenzy Guard and activate it right at the start of the round, and your kills will come rapidly. You should be able to do this within 1 Frenzy Guard, but if not, play as normal and do it a couple more times until you've gotten your camo. And finally, for the mangler kills, simply load into Terminus or Liberty Falls and progress until you've killed 10 of your manglers. As a quick tip, make sure to track what your special camos are so that you know what you need to do after you've achieved your 2,000 crits, especially if you're going into Haunted Havoc where you cannot save and quit. But now that that's over with, onto the mastery camos, baby. Mystic Gold is by far the easiest camo in the game to unlock. To get Mystic Gold, all you need to do is get 10 rapid kills 15 times. Whilst you can oil trap strat for this if you'd like, Mystic Gold can be easily achieved within 20 rounds of normal gameplay if you correctly train the zombies and kill them in groups of 10. I'd recommend using the Rampage Reducer if you're confident enough, as you can knock out all of the Mystic Gold from 0 in about 10 to 15 minutes per weapon. Nothing special there, just play the game. Next we have Opal, which is arguably one of the most time-consuming camos to unlock. To unlock Opal, you need 30 special kills per zombie. What? To unlock Opal, you need 30 special zombie kills per weapon. There is one method which is the undisputed heavyweight champion for Opal and can get you all 30 special kills in less than 10 minutes. Firstly, you'll need to load into Haunted Havoc on the tomb. Unlock your way through to the Pack-a-Punch machine and upgrade as much as you'd like using the Wonder Fizz and the Pack machine. In this time, copious amounts of mimics will be spawning. In my game, I managed to find 30 mimics and 1 doppelgast in 17 rounds with a total time of 10 minutes and 30 seconds. This strategy is so easy and so mindless, and you can even get Opal on more than one weapon. Just grab anything off the wall from the mystery box and go crazy. The best strat before this used to take at least 25 minutes to get all the way to Opal from 0, so thank the heavens for Haunted Havoc. Moving on to Afterlife, which is by far the most frustrating camo to unlock in this grind. I've put together the easiest way to get it on normal weapons, explosive weapons, and melee weapons, because each of these weapon types have slightly different strategies. For your regular guns, such as your XM4, C9, or your 9mm, you want to head on to Liberty Falls, as it's one of the biggest start rooms and it has the easiest to unlock Pack-a-Punch. Keep the Rampage can do so off and crowd the zombies up whilst utilizing the 2 tanks in the start room, which forces zombies to climb up slowly. This takes them a while, and if you use this truck here in particular, the zombies can only climb up from 3 angles. This makes it so much easier than the other tanks on this map, and if you want to narrow the angles down even further, head to this dumpster and do the exact same thing, but do be careful. If you run out of ammo, you'll likely be hit, and if you don't run away quickly and reload, you'll lose your progress. I'd suggest only using LMGs for this, or guns that have more than 50 bullets in their mag, as reloading here is killer and will screw you over. For explosive weapons such as your rocket launchers, GS pistols, and your LR sniper, I'd still suggest going into Liberty Falls for the reason listed prior. The difference for this strategy being that you need to train the zombies rather than picking them off one at a time. Major side note here, even if you have PhD on and don't take damage to your own explosive, if you are still within that blast radius, it will still cancel out your damageless run, so you must keep your distance regardless. For the strategy itself, head to the rooftop near Speed Cola and train zombies up so that you can kill an entire crowd with just one rocket or shot. Make sure that you are still maintaining that distance. This rooftop in particular leaves plenty of space for you to launch a rocket and still be a safe distance away from your train. And on top of this, there are no cars which can explode and ruin your progress on this rooftop. If the roof isn't working out for you, Liberty Falls is a massively open map, especially in that start room, which may be more beneficial to you. And finally, we move on to the most painful weapon type for Afterlife, the melee weapons. Once again, head into normal Liberty Falls, as this has the perfect grind spot for each melee weapon, as well as the easiest to unlock armory, melee macchiato, and pack machine. Straight off the rip, you're going to want to head to this specific tank, as it only has 3 climb up spots and is really easy to control. Think of it as a glorified game of whack-a-mole. If you do find things getting a bit too dicey though, just hop off the tank, run around until all the zombies are off the tank, and climb back on. Rinse repeat until you are fully safe, just to make sure no zombie's going to hit you. Keep playing here until you earn at least 7,500 essence, which will be enough to head all the way through to the melee macchiato machine to get a 3 times increase on your melee weapon damage, plus any augment setup that you've got on. Personally, I'd suggest using espresso for that faster swing speed, but it's up to you. Head back to the start room tank and play there until you get all of your Afterlife progress. If you haven't completed Afterlife and zombies become 2-hit again, upgrade and pack a bunch your weapon and rinse repeat the same spot until you've fully unlocked Afterlife. And finally, we've made it onto the most sought after zombies camo, Nebula. To unlock Nebula, you must get 10 elite zombie eliminations, which isn't nearly as hard as it sounds with the following strategy. Load into Liberty Falls again on whatever mode that you'd like, but if you're confident enough at the game, I suggest doing Haunted Havoc, as that is way faster and is the game mode that I'm playing in today. Once you've loaded in, unlock your way through to the Pack-a-Punch machine and get upgraded. And for this next part, if you already know how to get the jet gun, skip to the time shown on screen, but in the name of comprehensiveness, I'll show anyone who doesn't know here. Once you've gone to Pack 1, wait in the graveyard for Dennis Riffle to spawn. You must cruelly kill him and steal his key to unlock the shed and get the first part of the jet gun. Next, go to Speed Cola and grab the valve from this tap and make it all the way to the bowling alley. Complete the lockdown step using decoys, Aether Shroud, and any other equipment to distract the zombies and grab the second part of the jet gun. Finally, get yourself a mangler cannon by shooting a mangler's arm off, or by crafting one for 1,250 salvage and take it to the electronics store. Shoot the door down with the mangler cannon, head inside and look at the dirt piles. Search them until you've got the electrical wiring, and then you've gotten every single part for the jet gun. Head to the motel, which can be found in the start room, and craft the jet gun. For this strategy to work, you will need the LTG device, which also must be crafted. The parts you need are found in the following locations. Head to the comic book store and get the first part here. Head to this Speed Cola roof and get your second part from here. And finally, head to the Dark Ether and turn on this machine. The screen will flash white and it will spawn in your final LTG part here. Now head to the Alamo roof and craft your LTG at this workbench. Once crafted, take the LTG and take this zipline back to the cemetery. Place the LTG down here, which will start a holdout step that you must defend. Stop the zombies from getting into the summoned gateway for 1 minute straight, and then you'll be done with all of the setup for this strat. Once the time has successfully counted down, either an elite mangler or an elite abomination will spawn in. Kill it with the weapon that you want to get Nebula on, and once you've done this, take the round over to spawn another one in. This is because you can only do 1 elite per round. A massive tip that I can give you here is by equipping Napalm Burst on your weapons, as both manglers and abominations have elemental weakness damage to it, which means you can get a sturdy damage boost just by having napalm equipped. Rinse repeat this step until you've killed all 10 of your elites and Nebula will be yours. In my gameplay, it took me about 16 minutes from start to finish to go from loading in all the way through to getting 10 elite kills, which is insanely fast. And just like that, you have gotten to Nebula. Let's go! If you enjoyed this guide and want to see more when Black Ops 7 Zombies comes out, or you just want to see more content in the future, make sure to subscribe and turn notifications on so that you never miss a video. If there's any part of the video that you are confused with, leave a comment and I will be happy to reply to everything in the comments, in the replies. With all that said and done, however, thank you so much for watching as always. Like the video if you liked the video. If that is all, ladies and germs, I will in fact catch you on the website. Mwah!